Welcome back, everyone, to Pathologic. What's up, my dude? Oh, it's gonna be one of these kind of days. Oh, Christ. Oh, hey, asshole. What's up? Gotcha, Melvin. Oh, God. Now I see the danger of resting jerks. Can I get a sneak attack on this guy? Fuck! I guess at this durability, it's not an instant kill. And considering how quickly he can attack when he turns around. Oh, but it did do a lot of damage. Noted. Fuck. Sorry, the music wasn't stopping, and I was like, oh no, who now? Hey, assholes. Who goes there? Freeze! Hey, you over here! Swing it! Be quiet. Okay. Oh, hell yeah! That's a peculiar little key. Tourniquet me harder. So I've got one pistol bullet left. My favorite. Okay, I need to take a left here, and then I can go back to Isidor's place. This is Isidor's key, correct? Isidor's key. The key to the front door of the house where Isidor Barak used to live. So that explains why I wasn't able to go in when I was playing as the Bachelor. The Bachelor can enter. The Bachelor cannot enter because he doesn't have the key, and the only one who ever has the key is Isidor. I'm sorry, is Artemi. Hey kid, you got anything cool? I'll take it. I'm getting a lot of shotgun ammo, so hopefully I get a shotgun sooner or later. One could only hope. Fuck. Fuck. What the shit? What the shit? Why are there so many mice? I can't. Fucking eaten by fucking mice, bro. Holy shit. That's too fucking funny. Oh god, rats everywhere. Ever just get fucking murdered by rats? Happened to me. Okay. Okay, one rat dead. Two rats dead. 3 rats dead. There we go. Okay, thankfully these rats don't have the plague yet. Sticky! What the fuck are you doing in here?
It's made of metal.
Whoa, haven't seen you around here before. Are you a termitary dweller or something? No, my name is Artemi Barak. My name is Sticky. Nice to meet you.
Yep.
Hey, keep your hands off me. Don't you think anything funny? I didn't come here to steal or anything. What are you doing here then? I've spent the nights here, seen a lot of stuff. Why the hell did you get in here in the first place? Well, you know, we're sort of mates with the old guy. I mean, your father, sir. He spent a lot of time with us kids. Was going to teach us things after we grow up. He made a lot of cool stuff, but showed us only very little. We were sort of curious. You gotta be curious when you make friends with a warden. So you broke into his house to spy on him? I did nothing. I just thought maybe he'd brought some creepy stuff from the staff. A lot of things were brewing lately. I just figured he wouldn't go out there for nothing, would he? He used to bring all sorts of stuff from there. The clay head was one hell of a thing. So what do you know about how he was murdered? Well, nothing to write home about, really. I spent most of the time hiding inside the wardrobe. Old Isidor walked around a bit at first, and then he had a bunch of visitors. I'd seen little and heard even less. Visitors. I think the foreman was one of them? There were all sorts of step guys here. Butchers, worms, and so on. What of my father? You make so little sense, damn you. Well, he just sat there brooding for a while, rattled and fiddled with some stuff, poured some water or something, and then someone really heavy came in. Isidor opened the door without asking, even though he used to always ask. The guy seemed like a step man to me, had a harsh, low voice. Butcher, I'd say. Then it all went quiet. What do you mean? I was just sitting there for 2 hours or so, but I wasn't sleeping. I thought that he did fall asleep, and then I started to get out, and there he was, lying on the floor, all dead. I wasn't scared, but then I saw something that made me crawl straight back in again. Didn't quite get what I saw, though. Speak up. It was dark there, you know? The light died out. It was the guards who turned it on again later, but before that, there was someone else here. Looked very much like a worm? Or rather, I got a feeling that it was a woman, but the silhouette was so shapeless, more like a spirit, not a human. What are you talking about? What spirit? I'm telling you, the thing had a woman's head, but the body was crude, a lump of a body, and she made no sound, as if she was gliding, not walking. Then those guys came in, started stomping around, looking around, and they said the steppe creature was once again in town. They're searching for food, a shabnaka deer. Huh. What was Father doing earlier? Murky and I decided to watch him all night. After we found out he was back from the steppe, I spied him all the way to his house and then got in here. Before that, Murky'd lost him in the station near Vlad the Younger's, though. You go ask her. She's probably sleeping now in her van. Where did they take the body? To the cemetery, perhaps. Ask Grace, but most likely he's been fed to the earth. The guards come mostly from the steppe too, and you know what kind of rights they got there. They won't have the earth waiting too long for a warden. I see. So, go back to Grace's place and see if she knows anything about where he was buried.
Well knows the.
I'm not keeping you here. Huh, what a conspicuously placed curtain. Okay. Back to Grace's. With my very, very low health. I should cut through the bone steak lot. It's strange. Now I'm so much more attracted to the places where I won't run into any people. As opposed to when I was playing The Bachelor and I was like, oh yeah, I want to walk down the streets all day, every day. I want to run into people all the time in case they have stuff I can trade. Okay, nothing there. What is up, my dude? God damn it. Somebody give me a cracker, a loaf of bread, please. I'm dying out here, Scoob. I am probably gonna have to start, like, killing women and children for food. Holy shit. Things have gotten dark. Nice. God damn it. Lemons don't reduce hunger for some fucking reason. Fish hook? What the fuck am I supposed to do with that? Son of a bitch. Oh shit. There's no way out that way. Don't go down. There's no way out if you go down. Shit. What time is it? Oh, God. Well, as usual, let's focus on my main quest. If I can get the blood transfusion to save that guy, that's good. Maybe I could trade all these organs to the hunchback for delicious medicine and health restorers, and then I can give my blood. Although I am curious what Grace meant when she said that her blood was tainted. I mean, that might be her way of saying she has some sort of bloodborne pathogen, but doesn't have the language for it, I don't know. Yo, Grace.
No.
Did you see my father, Isidor Barak, yesterday?
Changeling doesn't look like a creature made of bones and clay.
Oh, I did. I saw him return from the steppe. Did you talk to him? No, but I followed him. He entered his house, and then I felt he was anxious, desperate even. He smelled of smoke. I didn't dare knock on the door, but peeked through the window. What did you see? I saw him take off his warm clothes, take them outside, and burn them. Then he wiped his body with cloth, threw it on the floor, and burnt it as well. Then he got dressed and left. I followed him, and I tried to call out for him quietly, but he didn't hear me. He arrived at the stone yard and knocked on Simon's door, and they let him in. And then I went back. I stopped by at Murky's on the way to tell her old Isidor was back. Murky? A girl, an orphan like me. She lives in a carriage and doesn't really like to talk. Thank you, Grace. Okay, so I can go through here to figure out... Okay, so I should... Goddamn, okay. Which is my main fucking quest? Okay. So, God Christ. I was gonna say, oh man, I really shouldn't have taken that nap, but looking back on it, I'm really glad that I did. I probably wouldn't have been able to make it too far otherwise. Lemons, right. Don't those increase hunger? It increases hunger and increases immunity by a negligible amount. Vitamin C won't save you today. Not today. Okay. Let's go chat with Murky, the young Vlad, and then we can stop by the hunchback and be like, yo, give me some blood. Put some blood in me. Got a bunch of hearts and shit. I don't even know if the reputation boost I get from saving that guy's life will be enough to take care of my abysmal reputation. I wouldn't be surprised if I have to spend a few days just murdering people I see in the street, and then when the infection hits, I can spend a lot of my spare Meridorm and painkillers to heal a bunch of people, and everyone will be like, well, I mean, he did heal all those people. Well, he didn't heal them. He made it so they don't want to die. But yeah, maybe there's further negotiating I can do with Notkin now that I've spoken to Capella. It seems like she wields a lot of respect around here, so she definitely... You might be the sort of person... It might be the situation where I can go to him and be like, hey, Capella told me to talk to you.
Where's my cat again?
Ah.
I hope he doesn't escape.
Notkin, did you see my father Isidor Barak yesterday? Whoa, so that's with whom I have the honor. My apologies, sir. I had no idea. I thought you were a random tramp. So you already know he's been murdered, right? I do. Do you know how? Well, people are saying a demon from the steppe killed him. The Shabnak. A man-eater made of bones, you know? The thing is, her claw was stuck in his chest when they found him. Not necessarily hers, but it was a monster's claw or a fang or some sort of bone anyway. What monster? A huge one. Claw the size of a man's elbow. Crooked bone. Snapped at its base. The rumor flew right away that the man-eater from the scary stories, the Shabnak Adir, had come out of the steppe to punish us. When was the last time you saw him? The lads told me he'd returned from the steppe, so I went to visit him. He spent most days in the steppe this time, you know. I thought he might tell me something about the bulls, so there I went but all I saw was smoke, and the stench was as if someone was burning a blanket. The lights were on, but he wasn't there. He went to Simon, came back almost at dawn, and chased me off. Chased you off, stomping his feet even. "Don't you dare even come close to me," he said. It was really weird. He'd always been a really nice old man. I thought maybe I'd done something wrong, and right afterwards, this Leica bastard caused a whole mess, so I had to go back. I only heard about the claw in the morning. Haven't seen it myself. Are my nails really that long? Yeah, I've heard you've been falsely accused. People have been told to go catch Simon's murderer at the station. That was before the claw. Isidor hadn't been found yet. Then they declared there was one murderer. Simon had been killed by a shabnak. Fine tangle, this whole business. Thanks, Notkin. So that... I think this is all happening to clarify that you can trust these kids. Because all of their stories are... Oh, shit. All of their stories are adding up. Ava's... sorry, not Ava. Grace is like, yep. So, he went out to the steppe, came back, burned a bunch of shit. Came back, burned a bunch of stuff. Went off to go talk to Simon. And then Sticky said he opened the door without asking who it was, and then got murdered. But yeah, I don't. And when Notkin there talks about the Notkin's spoken about how he smelled smoke when he was going in. If he was burning the clothes that he took from there, that would make sense. Yo, Murky, what up?
Perhaps
I saw you.
She is the man-eater.
You saw me? I live here. See this van? Cozy.
I'm damp and washed out.
You're so big. Murky, tell me, did you go to my father, to Isidor, yesterday? I did. Grace invited me to. When? At night. So you didn't sleep? I didn't. I rarely sleep at night. What did you see? I saw him return home, and he sat down and was just sitting for the longest time. Didn't move. Fell asleep, most likely. Then I came back here. Saw you arrive. You saw me get off the train? I saw you get into a fight, too. Then I hid myself and fell asleep. So you came back from my father's, and then I got here. Has a lot of time passed between those two events? Yes. I had enough time to repair the mousetrap. So will you tell me what you've just told me to anyone else if I bring them here? I will. Thank you, Murky. Okay. So it's also about establishing the order of events. So if anyone... I know they're a bunch of kids, but if I can get them all to vouch for me and be like, he couldn't have done it. He got here after Isidor stopped making noise, like literally. Then that could go a long way to, supporting my innocence. 8 hours left in the day. Let's make them count. If it weren't for the hunger, I could potentially take a little snooze. I could take a little snooze, oh boy, at little Vlad's place. Vlad.
It is easier to govern others than to prevent being governed.
I know who stands before me. You're Artemi Barak, aren't you? How lucky. We were hoping to gain your support. That depends. Our family has big plans. The first of them has to do with your deceased father's inheritance. Hopefully your plans agree with mine.
The big city guest jumps the gun too much. Not the mystery-solving type, really.
So Isidor has left you an inheritance, a questionable stroke of luck. He wasn't rich, I believe. Downright poor, I'd say, but it has nothing to do with my fortunes. I don't mean the money. Knowing your esteemed father, I dare suggest that there's something else in his inheritance. It is the Baroque's legacy, after all. The family ritualistic tradition implies mostly of something of a less material nature, doesn't it? How do you know about that? It's a very small town. Get used to it. Except for those secrets that can cost someone their life, none remain secret for long. Some things always seep through. However, the traditions of the steppe are kept under lock and key more firmly than others. That's good to hear. Speaking of tradition, I've always marveled at your Baroque's faithfulness to your duty. It seems to be sacred to all of you, especially when it has to do with debts. Oinon, a wise man, would never have allowed his dead to have outstanding debts. I wonder if Artemi refers to the bachelor Oinon sincerely or ironically. True, if that ever happened, this warden's kin is stripped of their right to possess secret knowledge. A Haruspex whose conscience is guilty is no longer a Haruspex. That's what I've been told. Exactly. You're not an expert on the local traditions, though, are you? Even though you come from a native family, you were taken away when you were very young. You seem to know them more than I do. How come? I'm just keen on the local lore. I mean, my father's personal circumstances. How do you know about what his inheritance contains? A simple analysis leads me to believe that you'll inherit something else, along with priceless knowledge, unique potions, and material possessions, of course. An obligation. A terrible one. What kind of obligation? A risky obligation. A dangerous one. So if I were you, I'd think twice before accepting that inheritance. Even though you're in a dire situation, you may find there's a venomous snake in that precious chest. No, I don't believe in avoiding obligations, and I won't ever leave my father beyond life's doorstep burdened with something I'm afraid to take on. So I thought, you truly are your father's son, and still, this weight could break your back. Do you know something that I don't, Master Vlad? Only that this burden broke your father's back the day before. I don't believe in this man-eater woman. I simply don't. And I've heard that he'd given an oath he swore on the honor of his family, and that means on your honor as well. That was why he called upon you, not because he was about to die. Do you know that for certain? No, these are simply fragmentary observations. I'm quite observant, you know, and the following analysis that allows us to wrap it all up into a single logical picture. This is my version of what had happened. I commend your principles and courage, but I also feel sorry for you. Just think about it. I thank you, but I've made up my mind already. Is there anything else we can discuss?
Who lives without folly?
Where can I find the tools and resources I need? So you're not welcome in shops, are you? There's a way out. Try to get to know Bad Grief. Tell him your name, and I'd be damned if he doesn't treat you with the utmost respect. Bad Grief? I can hold my own. What is that noise? This isn't the first time I've heard it.